What's up guys, Nerdy Perkins here, coming to you from the decks of the world. I know it's been a minute, but now we've got plenty of cards for me to talk about. So I'm going to break down what's been revealed from the next set and kind of speculate what we're going to see in each color. And we're just going to go down the set of cards that we've seen so far. And as you can see, we'll start off with the big man himself. Whitebeard is going to be the lead of red, and he is a big one. This is a fairly unique leader. We can see that he has 6,000 power and 6 life, and he definitely has a something to compensate for it, because at the end of your turn, you add 1 card from the top of your life area to your hand. So you're gonna keep drawing. So you have basically 6 turns, unless you have some other cards to prevent it. But you have the 6,000 power, so you're able to start swinging in like right away, and you'll already have an advantage against the other leader. And my guess is that red in this set is going to be Whitebeard's crew mostly. I imagine Whitebeard, and we might see I think Luffy might be included in here, but there might be another color that I think Luffy could be included in as well. We'll have to see. So we have Whitebeard, and then we have another red leader. He's a dual colored, and it is Garp. He is 5,000, and he has the 4 life like most dual coloreds. And his ability is, on your turn, when you attach a Dawn to this leader or one of your characters, give up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters -1 to their cost during this turn. And it doesn't have a limit, so the idea is that you are attaching Dawn to subtract the cost of characters, and then you're going to use other characters' abilities to come out and KO or affect those cards. It's a pretty good one. It doesn't have at least as far as I can tell, we don't have a limit on how much we can do it. So your limit is how many Dawn you have. And obviously the idea is that if you're putting Dawn onto a character, it's making so you can't use it to summon something. So, it's definitely something you're going to probably be using more in the later game. And in early game, you'd be using it to like KO characters fairly easily. If you have like some good black cards that have KO on cost effect. And I think this seems to be red-black because we have black because he's obviously a navy, and I think it's red because he's also the Monkey D is his dual loyalties of the navy and his grandson, which is definitely a big factor in this arc in general. So then we have, I think this is the only red card we have so far. It is the Edward Nugget Whitebeard card. He is 9 cost, 10,000 power, so you're not going to be able to get him out until later in the game. So the idea is you basically are trying to I'll go through over his ability, because on play, up to one of your leader gains 2,000 until the start of your next turn. Then you cannot add cards from your life area until the start of your next turn. So your leader goes up to 8 through your opponent's turn. That's really good. And then you cannot add cards from your life area to your hand by your effects during this turn. So it's just on the turn that you play him. So he can basically stall you out for a turn. And then you attach 2 Dawn to him. And when attacking, you can KO one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 or less power. So pretty good. Like I said, it's going to be one of those things where basically you are going to play him on your last life or 2, depending on if you're able to defend yourself that long. And you play him out and get him. I'm wondering if we're going to have if we'll have a little bit of ramp added to red for this, because you definitely want to get to 9 as quickly as possible with Whitebeard as your leader and have this guy in. We'll have to see if some other red cards do have a similar effect. Like I imagine that Marco might have something where you put him down and instead of on play, maybe as long as Marco's in the field, you don't take cards from the life area. We'll have to see, or at least by your leader's effect or something. We'll have to see. Like I said, you're definitely seeing how Whitebeard can be played, and I like that they added, added this as well so that we can play test with him in the correct manner. It'll be pretty cool to play. And I think from here we go on to green, and we get Kinemon, 5,000, 5 life, pretty standard for a mono-colored leader. And he has the ability, activate main once per turn. When you have one or less characters in play, reduce the play cost of the next 3 cost or higher Wano country type character card you play from your hand from your hand by 1 during this turn. So you reduce the cost by 1. This is pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna replace it with the Odin for my Odin green, but I'm sure that there'll be ways of building a pretty good deck around it. And this is one, I mean, it's same as Odin where it's going to be useful most turns if you have, if you have the situation set up for it. And it certainly will help when you're, don't have a lot on the board. So yeah, I said I like it. And I like that we're seeing Kinemon. And this is going to lead me to say that I'm pretty sure based off what the information we've gotten from green and the cards revealed so far, green seems to be basically everyone who's not involved with the actual events of the set, if you will. So we see that we have Kinemon, and then I'm pretty sure next, we have Sanji as a green-blue leader, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure Robin got revealed earlier today, and we'll talk about her in a minute. But I'm guessing that green's going to be Straw Hat Crew, which is going to be really good for dual green-red Straw Hat decks. Going to be really fun. And I think we'll get probably Wano, it seems like, because we've seen some art reveals for other Wano country characters. Like I think we've seen Odin and a few other characters revealed only in art, not in their actual cards. So I'm guessing that they're all going to fit into green. Which like I said will work really well. And let's talk about the Sanji. He's a green-blue, which is interesting. It's 5,000, and it's 1 for life because he's dual-colored. And once per turn, when you play a character without an effect from your hand, if you have 3 or less characters in play, set up to 2 of your Dawn as active. So this is going to be a vanilla, like a leader that you want to throw some vanilla in. Definitely, like his ability isn't useful otherwise. And, I like it's certainly useful. It's very similar to Odin, and I can certainly see plays. Because, you do have cards and abilities that allow you to get a lot of character cards without effects. And like I said, I'm pretty sure based off this, we're going to see that a lot of Straw Hat crew members are going to be green. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see Luffy in blue, but we'll talk about that in a minute when we actually get to blue. Let's see some green cards that aren't leaders. Oh, I was excited when we got this one. We got Carrot, and this is a really good card. I'm probably going to throw this into my Odin deck. 5 cost, 5,000 power. It has a nice 2,000 counter as well. And at the end of your turn, you can set up to 1 of your Dawn as active. I love it. It's one of those things where, you always, it's always hard to keep that extra Dawn. So if you know that you can play her and always have 1 Dawn and, be able to get, that 1 cost counter off, that kind of thing, this is going to be really good. Especially, if you get a couple of her in your deck and you put multiple down, definitely going to be a very good green card to use. Definitely something, like I said, I'm going to test in my Odin deck. And I love the art here. It looks really good. And it's rare, so we're going to get it in holo, I'm pretty sure, right? So yeah, we'll get this in holo. So this will be really good holo card. I'm going to like that. And yeah, as I said, very cool. And like I said, fitting the theme of a character not in the current arc that this set is based around. And we see that likely the Straw Hats are going to have a little bit of a theme here. So it looks like we're going to have more kind of advertising stuff for the film. And it's, like I said, it makes sense. And it's cool to get some more cards with the film effect. And it gives the Straw Hat crew members a little extra boost, and they can be used in some more decks. And we have 3 cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter on play. Play up to 1 film or Straw Hat crew type character with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. So basically with Robin, you get to play the 3 costs, and you get a free 2 cost character along with her, who's either film or Straw Hat crew, which I imagine, like I said, I'm thinking all the Straw Hat crew members in this set will likely be film / Straw Hat crew, which I was wondering what they were going to do with it. The other option would have been having them, like, having art and stuff representing them when they were sent away, but this makes sense. And you probably also have different alt art for them as well. Though I guess it would be alt art with the film stuff. And we've seen a Luffy that is probably his alt art. And I'm curious if he's going to be green. I think we might get multiple colors of Luffy in this. So yeah, like I said, we have green, and then we'll jump on over to blue, I'm pretty sure now. Yes. So we have Ivankov, and we have 5,000 power, 5 life. And end of your turn, if you have 0 cards in your hand, you draw 2 cards. That's pretty useful. You know, and I can definitely see this is probably pretty good to build a deck around. You know, lots of low cost, so you can get stuff out of your hand pretty quickly. And we see that they have Impel Down, Revolutionary Army, and I'm pretty sure that blue will be like Impel Down prisoners. And it makes sense because, as you'll see, we have a lot of characters who were in the blue set originally from set 1 who are also prisoners in Impel Down. So it works out well. And that's why I also wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe Luffy in here, because he wasn't a prisoner, but he was certainly allied with the prisoners. And I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see a red-blue or I was going to say green-blue, but I think Sanji fills that gap. But it'll certainly be curious to see what else we get. And I'm pretty sure we have... Oh, no, he's the only leader we have for blue right now. So we have Buggy, and he is a 1 cost, 2,000, and he is on play. Look at top 5 from the top. Like, look at the top 5. Reveal a Impel Down card that's not a Buggy. Add it to your hand. He's a fetch for Buggies, or not Buggies. He's a fetch for Impel Down characters, making me, you know, like I said, seem very likely that we will have prisoners of Impel Down and as blue, and as we'll see later, we're likely going to see the jail keeps of Impel Down in purple, which, like I said, it makes a lot of sense. And we already have Blurple as a color combo, so putting the 2 of them together, you have them both representing Impel Down. So really good. Let's keep going through. We have Mr. 2 Bon Clay Bentham. And he is 5 cost, 5,000, 2,000 counter. And Dawn, if you attach a Dawn to him when attacking, you can trash a card from your hand. You return a character with a cost of 2 or less to the bottom of its owner's deck. So you can do that to yourself or the opponent. And then when this battle ends, return this character to the bottom of its owner's deck as well. So very cool. It's an interesting ability, and I'm sure that there will be people who find use for it. Obviously, you're trying to get a 2 cost from the other side down to the bottom. I can see it being really useful to try to get rid of Namis in red. There's a bunch of different things that I could definitely see it being used for. I do like it, and yeah, the extra 2,000 is certainly useful because, like I said, if you're not going to end up using it, having the extra 2,000 is going to be useful to defend yourself. And we see with both these guys, so the next one is Mr. 3 Galdino, and both these guys are former Baroque works, so presumably, yeah, they won't work with like anything that's like Baroque works from the last set will not work, but we're going to have, I assume, a bunch of characters that are going to be under former Baroque works. So we have 4 cost, 5,000, he has 1,000 counter, and he is a blocker. At the end of your turn, you may trash a card from your hand and set this card as active. So basically, you have a super high cost blocker who can attack, and then you can trash a card, and you can set him as active and use him as a blocker. I think that's a very useful blocker to have. No, yeah, that's really cool. And I think all... Okay, so all these are rare. So we'll see all these guys are going to be hollow. So that's pretty cool. And I believe then we go to, yes, now we are to purple. And so purple, I think, will be impel down leaders, like impel down jail keeps. And I think it'll also maybe have Navy allies. So I'm thinking maybe we see warlords that fight along with the Navy in Mareeford in purple, which once again works really well for a Blurple 7 warlords deck. Would be super cool to see that. Let's go over the card. It's 5,000, 5 life, and your turn, once per turn, when a Dawn card is returned from the field to the Dawn deck, this leader gains 1,000 power during this turn. This is okay. I think it would be more useful if it wasn't locked to once per turn, because then you could really stack it. But I guess it makes sense for balancing. And the idea is that you just get it up so that you can then get a more powerful swing in. Because yeah, it's just during this turn. It's okay. I don't know how much I would use it as a purple leader. I think well, we'll have to see. So then we have Zed. So he is purple black, 5,000 for life, standard for the dual colors. And when attacking, take 4 Dawn back to the Dawn deck and KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 3 or less. Then this later gains 1,000 power during this turn. See, this I think is a lot more useful. Obviously, it has playing off of cost to use with the black ability to subtract cost from something, and then the leader also gets the buff. I think this is going to be a fun card to build a deck around. As I was saying, this does seem to kind of lead me to further believe that purple will end up being like the warlords. Basically, anyone who works along with the Marines but isn't actually a Navy member is going to be purple, and it's really well represented with Zed, who is a former Navy member, and who has left, and you know, also getting a film leader going to be useful to use with your other purple film deck. So there you go. Like I said, I like this. I'm excited to see kind of the alt art we get for this guy, and I'm liking that they're pulling from film stuff as well, because you know, I mean, you could people might argue that maybe there's another character that would fit better here, but honestly, I think if we do see that purple ends up being kind of like the people who work with the Marines, like warlords, stuff like that, I think that him as a purple black gonna make a lot of sense and work well. Then we have our black leader, and we have 5,000 power, 5 life. It's Dawn ×1, activate main once per turn. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 to their cost during this turn. Then if there is a character with a cost of 0 in play, this leader gains 1,000 power during this turn. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something you want to set up for, because you need to make sure that the thing you're subtracting goes to 0, or that you already have something at 0 to gain that extra 1,000. But I like it because you kind of, you know, you get that buff, so then you can swing at leader, especially if you can clear out like blockers, whatever, so you can get a clear hit. Yeah, no, I like it, and I think that's what. And I'm curious. I'm betting we'll get probably another black leader. Like, so if you look with these guys, I mean, so at least based off of what I'm seeing, like, so Garp, or for red, it goes one red leader, and then we get a dual colored leader. So I think for most of them are going to get 1 mono, and then probably like 2 dual colors, maybe, depending. We'll have to see. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get green and red, maybe. Or no, we already have green red. Who else? Maybe they do a couple green blue, or yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder if we get a blue purple. Probably not. We probably just you probably build something off of the purple decks that you already have. And we probably see, yeah, I'm not sure. But I think with a lot of these, we're only gonna get one mono color, and then maybe a couple dual colors. But yeah, that is the cards we've gotten so far for set 2. Before we go, I'd like to give a big thanks to all the people on the One Piece trading card game community Discord. I will leave a link to it down below. Would not be able to make all this content without them making these awesome proxies and translating all these cards. If you're looking to have a resource to like get proxies and be playing the game with other people, it's the perfect place. I would highly recommend it. And that's all I really got for you guys. I'm excited to see more as we get it revealed. I'll probably try to do a video a week kind of breaking down the cards that are being announced and go from there as we get closer to the full set being released. And I'll see you guys next time.